backdrop of District 120 for the members. Please proceed and use it.
And it is titled as Roast to Those. So we will
Gayatri and Yudli.
Okay. Satyadip, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Speak Up Toastmasters. We are an online club. Adhering to the mission of Toastmasters Club, we provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. To ensure this, let me lay down a few ground rules for the meeting. First, at a Toastmasters meeting, you are not prohibited, but advised to speak responsibly on sex, religion, and politics. You are requested to keep your noise-making devices on mute and avoid disturbances during the meeting. Request you to remain on mute when a speaker is speaking to avoid any disruptions. So this meeting shall be recorded for training purposes. And if you do not wish to be recorded, you may keep your cameras off. So today we have a special meeting to organize, to celebrate a fellow Toastmaster. Humor will be light and respectful and in all good spirits. So over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Satyadip Basu. Please keep the applause going, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings, Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Vaibhavi Sundur, President of Speak Up Toastmasters Club. I am deeply honored today as we gather for celebration of distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip Basu's birthday in a unique way. At Speak Up Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip is loved and respected for all the guidance he provides us. He is one of those pillars that renders constant support and encouragement to Speak Up Toastmasters Club ever since the club has revived. His guidance and mentoring advice to our members have helped us in conducting good quality meetings. Distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip has a huge influence over me on a personal level. He's a fatherly figure for me who helps me by pointing out the areas of improvement. With today's special event, Roast a Dost, all of us at Speak Up Toastmasters wholeheartedly wish distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip Basu a very happy birthday and express our gratitude for being that guiding light for us. I would like to call upon the virtual podium distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Gayatri Deshmukh and Division I Director to take us on a ride. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Vaibhavi, for that wonderful introduction. Biswaraj, before we start, let's just give a disclaimer. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, this Roast to Those session has been organized solely to provide a platform for good-natured ribbing and light-hearted jesting of distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip Basu. Before we dive into a sea of humor and sarcasm, we'd like to present you with the following disclaimer. This evening's affair is intended solely for the purpose of entertaining our esteemed guests and showcasing the power of laughter. Remember, the content you're about to witness may cause uncontrollable fits of giggles, spontaneous nods, and even some knee-slapping moments.
And the opinions that are expressed during this event will be as diverse as the options that you have a buffet table during a family reunion. We will remind you that the opinions and the views that will be presented here are absolutely personal in nature, and they're exclusive to the individuals who are delivering them. You might find yourselves nodding in agreement, gasping in disbelief, or even rolling on the floor with laughter, but please do not break your machines.
The organizers of this uproarious gathering take absolutely no responsibility for any stomach aches resulting from excessive laughter, sudden outbursts of snickering in quiet rooms, or moments of uncontrollable mirth at the most inopportune times. Should you find yourself doubled over with glee, clutching your sides while tears stream down your face, please direct your appreciation or blame to the talented roasters or the toasters.
And while the boundaries of humor are vast and wonderful, we kindly request all the participants of this roast and toast session to remember that we should be respectful even in our jest. Remember IRSE. Remember that. Roasters, your job is to deliver a roast worthy of the comedy Olympics. Roasty, your task is to remain with your stiff upper lip and practice your best. I can't believe that smile. Do I know, since I've known you for the last 11 years, that you are pretty poor at that. Trust me. And remember, it's all in the name of entertainment and entertainment. And the roasty will get his due share, his due chance of a sweet revenge in course of time. Till then, hold on to your seats. What do you say, Gayatri?
Absolutely. Biswaraj, do you know why we organized this event in the first place? The mega roast of Satyadip Basu.
I think I know why, but maybe there are members in the audience who might not know that. So for the knowledge of all of them, would you please tell us why?
We are all talking about member retention. How are we going to do member retention when we have our members like Distinguished Toastmaster Pramod Fernandes and Distinguished Toastmaster Abdul Rahim not with us? There had to be a place to bring people like them together. The only way they were willing to come is if I was willing to offer them Satyadip Basu on a platter.
So you mean to say Satyadip Basu is like a magnet who can attract bits and pieces of iron, be it rusted or be it in a proper shape, but they all come together at the end of the day.
They all came here just for him.
Oh
and as far as others are concerned, all the other members who have joined in, they all know they don't have it in them to roast Satyadip Basu, so might as well sit and watch him get roasted.
No, they're afraid of being roasted offline. So I'm sure that nobody would love to be a shareholder of that. You know, being roasted by the man himself offline till 1 o'clock at night. Oh, come on, please, I need to sleep.
All right, how about this? Before we dive into all the roasters, how about we start with a little love before that?
Yes.
Let's call your team member, because I'll be calling the roasters. Biswaraj will be calling the toasters. So who do you have on your team, Biswaraj?
It is always good to have a sugar-coated knife. So first we'll go with the sugar and then the knives. For the sugar coating, we have with us someone who is an epitome of discipline. Because we have in our district this year a parliamentarian, and a parliamentarian will always call for discipline. And a disciplined lady like she is, she will have her sweet words for our sweet birthday boy. Let us hear what Jennifer Helen Ghosh, Distinguished Toastmaster, has in store for us. Can we have a big round of applause for our first toaster of the day? Distinguished Toastmaster Jennifer Helen Ghosh. The podium is all yours.
Thank you so very much. And to Satyadip, I'm very honored to be giving a toast for you. So I have known Satyadip since 2007. Okay. When I joined Toastmaster, that was when I came to know of this gentleman called Satyadip Basu. Yes, we did work together in TCS, but our paths did not cross. It was when I joined the community of Toastmasters that I actually got to know Satyadip Basu as a superlative husband, a responsible father, a great son and nephew, all rolled into one Satyadip, or should I say Satyadip Da, as he is lovingly called across districts. Toastmaster is Satyadip's life and soul, from chartering the first corporate club in TCS, that is TMKTC. He has never failed in his attempt to support, encourage, and help members see the value in joining the community. Did you know Satyadip is an avid reader? His love for books, especially, anyone can guess what genre I'm talking about? Ah, okay. It's detective novels. He also loves watching movies and is a die-hard fan of football. This you should be able to guess. Which two are his favorite teams? Come on, guys. Nobody knows?
Mohun Bagan and Argentina.
East Bengal is not his
Yeah,
favorite.
no, it's Mohun Bagan and Brazil.
Brazil, sorry.
I think I'm correct, right, Satyadip? He is extremely fond of music and is a great fan of KK. No, not that KK. May his soul rest in peace. But the great legendary Kishore Kumar and his culinary favorites include obviously fish, the Bengali Babu, but then again, cold coffee, what a combination. And most important, he loves simple homemade food. However, he has no knowledge of cooking. Now, my dear friends and leaders, this is a fact, not a roast. By the way, did you know that Satyadip hates dishonesty and breaking of traffic rules? He is a thalassophile, having a deep love for the ocean and its vastness. He is strongly connected to it. Yes, he loves the beauty and serenity of beaches and their power. Like he has that power in Toastmasters. A gem of a person, a good Samaritan, and a philanthropist. He is one kind-hearted friend, let me tell you. He will keep all your secrets safe for a lifetime. Few incidents collected from his close buddies, distinguished Toastmasters all. Once, Satyadip and Ayan were traveling to IIT Kharagpur and were teaching together, but in different classes. He came over to Ayan's class and Ayan introduced Satyadip to the team there and said that, do you know, this is the second person in the history of Kolkata to achieve the Distinguished Toastmasters Award. Then everyone naturally started clapping. And as usual, Ayan in his own style said, then do you know who's the first? And when they asked him, he said, me, of course. And everybody started clapping even more. And Satyadip was such a loving gesture of his, started laughing out. I guess, Ayan says, this is what a true friend is. Arnab one day went to visit Satyadip at his home after coming back from on-site with a bottle of whiskey. And Satyadip told everybody at home that it was a gift for him. His wife, Paramita, told Arnab, how long has Satyadip been requesting you for this bottle of whiskey? And Arnab, she again told Arnab that, what would you do, Arnab, to reclaim this payment back as a gift? So it was really hilarious for Arnab because he had gifted it genuinely to Satyadip, but Paramita was very against him having a bottle of whiskey all by himself. I'm sure Satyadip would share it with his loved ones. Finally, Brati. In the last ISC, Brati and Satyadip were both competing at the area level. And yet, they both ended up mentoring each other's speeches. Isn't that a wonderful gesture? I always believe that this mentor-mentee relationship is like a reversal relationship, and it can happen in all circumstances. So in Toastmasters, I have not seen another Satyadip. He is one unique piece who is direct, straightforward, and maintains the same sense of integrity as he did way back in 2010. No change, but lots to gain from this inspiring gentleman. So, my dear friends, let's raise a toast and wish Satyadip a very happy birthday once again. Have a very, very special year ahead, and may God bless you. Cheers! Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Awesome. So, Biswaraj, do you know all of these things about Satyadip Da?
A few of them, yes. A lot of them, no.
How about, now that was your opening batswoman. Now I'll bring in my opening batsman. And because everybody knows how much I love Satyadip Da, how much I rely on him for advice, and since this is his party, I'm going to let him decide who he wants to bring first on the podium. Satyadip Da.
See, the band party was invited by me, all right, but the order you decide.
Okay, since everybody has been so eagerly waiting to listen to someone who is probably going to speak on a Toastmasters platform for after about 2 years?
Maybe.
2 years? Okay. It is time we bring on stage distinguished Toastmaster Abdul Rahim, and this time it's not going to be a sugar-coated pill, is it?
Thank you so much, Madam Toastmaster, and Satyadip in particular. Uncomfortable role for me, but then it's given me an insight into thinking a little bit more about Satyadip. Satyadip, the light of truth. The problem is he takes this literally. He wants to be bringing truth to life everywhere. He thinks there is a load shedding around him and he must glow and continue to glow more and more so that people can see the truth. In fact, it is only Paromita as his understanding wife who has understood this. It has been 19 years since she once very, very innocently asked him, Ajke ranna kemon hoyeche? How is the dinner tonight? And after that, she has had better sense than to ask him. In fact, after that, she has had to keep a very strong eye on him. When Anand, their son, was 5 years old, he came innocently to daddy one day and said, Baba, how did I come into this world? At that point, Paromita overheard, thankfully. Otherwise, young Anand would have had a taste of Satya, the truth, in his face. Satyadip believes that truth cannot hurt. And he believes that so much that he practices it also. In fact, no prizes for guessing his prized Toastmaster roles. General evaluator, or parliamentarian. Dant laga sakte hain. So, whenever any Toastmaster does not come to a Toastmasters meeting, you have to entice them with incentives like, the world champion of public speaking is coming, ISC contestant is going to participate. To get Satyadip to a meeting, you have to say, Satyadip Da, you are the G. In fact, I remember after a particularly rough evaluation by Satyadip to a newbie Toastmaster, I went up to Satyadip and said, Satyadip, we have to follow CRC method in evaluation. He said, yes, tai to kollam. Criticize, re-criticize, criticize. And what is more important is that Satyadip is always pareshan. He's always overworked, always thinking, whether it is the state of the world politics or whether it is the shade of the green and yellow and red cards. He will always come back to say, Uff, Abdul, ki bolbo? Are baba, uff. কি যে হচ্ছে রেড ইয়েলো গ্রিন থেকে মেরুন গ্রিন ক্রিম আর টিল হয়ে গেছে সব নষ্ট হয়ে যাচ্ছে Toastmasters পুরো প্রতিষ্ঠা শেষ everything is lost because we have changed the shade from the green cards In fact, Satyadip believes critical thinking is about criticizing anybody's thinking. And so he has been doing. In fact, I don't know if you have remembered and seen, there is a certain character called Phupaji in all Indian marriages. He is the Phupaji who wants to be given the importance, and if he is not given, he sits scowling in one corner, hoping that people will come and make him feel important. Well, officially, Satyadip, you are the Phupaji of Kolkata Toastmasters. And that is the reason why we all love you so much, why we all want to come to you and manao you. Because after all, you are the permanent fixture in every TCS Maitri Kolkata Toastmasters meeting. You can go to that meeting and you can bet there will be a banner, there will be a gavel, and there will be Satyadip. In fact, he is the oldest part of the meeting. Every Toastmaster is younger than him. The banner is younger than him. The gavel is younger than him. In fact, the room is younger than him. And now you go to Toastmasters, or when I used to go to TCS club, TCS office, the receptionist would not ask me where you want to go. Oh, Phupaji wala club mein jana hai? Jao. So thank you so much, Satyadip, for being that affable, lovable Phupaji for Toastmasters and for taking us all in this journey of Toastmasters for so many years. Thank you.
Wow, beautiful.
Very nice.
Thank you so much, Abdul Rahim, for those wonderful words. Now, after Sachin, it's time to call Rahul Dravid on the podium. Now, I have never seen a Rahul Dravid or a Dhoni in my real life, but I've seen someone who is close to that person in his nature, stature, manners, and each and every aspect of his life. To him, he is the MSD of District 124 right now. A man who always puts his team before his own achievements. A man who is a perfectionist, just like a Rahul Dravid is. And a man who lets his action speak more than his own words. Let me call on the next person to raise a toast for Satyadip Basu, the first Nag of the lineup, DTM Rohan Nag. The podium is all yours, sir.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for that. I just got roasted myself because I was wondering who is Biswaraj talking about. I did not realize it is me. Fantastic. Thank you so much, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, respected seniors, my respects to all of you. What a wonderful meeting, what a wonderful gathering of brilliant minds. And all I can say is it is an honor for me. Satyadip Basu, DTM. Ladies and gentlemen, the first meeting that I ever attended in Toastmasters, Satyadip sir was taking a training program on table topics. And he was one of the most animated trainers I had seen in my life. And I remember I was sitting just right beside the stage area. And I was just looking at him and wondering that on a Friday evening, after the entire day's work, how is this man so energetic and is pushing all the members to break their shackles and break their fear? And there I became a Toastmaster. Never did I realize that this man is going to be the harbinger of one of the greatest learnings that I have got in my life. I've had fantastic teachers. I am blessed. Now, this is one man from whom I have got one of the best learnings that has helped me not only in Toastmasters, but even in my professional life. When I was serving as the division director in District 41, I was very lucky to have people like Satyadip sir, Brati sir, Panna ma'am in my team. And we always had Jenny ma'am, Ayan Pal all guiding us. So one fine day, it was starting of August, Satyadip sir gives me a call. And he says, Rohan, we need to talk. I said, yes, sir, tell me. He says, Rohan, you need to understand that there is a difference between being serious and in being sincere. You need to be sincere and not serious. And all of a sudden, the pressure I was feeling on my shoulders as a division director just faded away through that one telephone conversation. And after that, at whatever role I have served, whatever projects I've taken over, whatever job that has come my way, the first thought I have in mind is, I need to be sincere, but I also need to have fun. I need to enjoy it. And that's the reason why whatever success I have been lucky to get in Toastmasters, be it in work, is because I attributed to that one telephone call, that one knowledge that Satyadip sir shared with me. Sir, I can tell you that it has always been an honor to learn from you, to look up to you. We share the common love of March and football. But I need to tell you, sir, Argentina is not a good team. Germany is the best. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in raising a toast to the man of the hour, Satyadip sir. Thank you very much for all your learnings. Cheers to you. Back to you, ma'am.
Wow. Thank you so much, Rohan. And I spoke his name properly. Okay, Biswaraj, what is it about that Argentina team? Can you tell me?
We have got Messi now. We used to have Maradona before.
Okay. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's not about football. It's just about Rohan Nag and Satyadip Basu supporting different teams, right?
Maybe.
Okay, let's. Oh,
He's a
sorry.
fan of Mohan
I
Bagan.
forgot no controversial topics. And Argentina, Brazil, the whole football thing, very controversial. How about we bring on stage someone who will now again roast? Okay.
All right.
This person is someone who has highest regard
For me?
him. No, no. Satyadip Basu has the highest regard for this person. The first time I ever spoke to Satyadip Basu, I asked him, Satyadip, the evaluation workshop, you should learn from him something. This new generation knows nothing. You should learn from him. And then, since I had never heard of him, I was very new. I had never heard of him. So I asked Arnab, and Arnab was like, if Satyadip is saying that somebody is better at evaluation than him, then you should not ask anybody. You should just get him. And that is whom we are going to call on stage. We had one Ghosh who spilled a lot of sweetness on Satyadip Basu. It is time to spice things up. Let us call on stage another Ghosh who is very loved in District 124. Please help me welcome on stage distinguished Toastmaster Brati Sankar Ghosh.
Thank you. Thank you for such nice introduction, a warm introduction on this evening. Really feels nice to be in such august company. As I was thinking about the different incidents that has happened in my time with Toastmasters and in my interaction with Satyadip, I remember this one instance when I was the TMOD. This must be sometime very, very long back. So I was a TMOD of a session, and we had a theme. I had decided on a theme. It was something like life, something. I don't exactly remember the theme. But I was calling everyone up and saying, whoever was taking up a role, and saying that, okay, you tell me something in a sentence with not more than 3 or 4 words about your concept of life. Everyone responded in their own way. And this man responded with 10 sentences. When was asked for one. Now, that was the first time when I really thought the red card does not exist for Satyadip. From that time onwards, whenever I get a call from him, and there have been innumerable ones, which started with, boss, 2 minute hobe. Boss, do you have 2 minutes? I look up my calendar and clear the next 20 minutes. And that's at the least. But I can tell you this, that 20 minutes would be something that you'll remember for the next 20 years of your life. Starting with gems like common sense is not common, to events and incidents that can make you roll on the floor with laughter. It is presented in such a nice way that you really, really would love it. And really want to point out the way Satyadip would take up a speech and mentor it. Abdul touched on it, but this is how it actually happens. So maybe Satyadip, can you please have a look at this speech? So next day he comes back. and says, "Na boss, bhaloi hoyeche, it's a good speech." And that's all about it. It's a good speech. And then the next 15 minutes is all about what the speech should have been, and it should not, and is not. So it is, and that is why I keep sending the speech back to Satyadip. You know, if you ask me, and I believe this is how it happens in Toastmasters most, if you ask me and I get a speech which is really not what a speech should be, I would probably say, okay, there are, you know, it's good. You have put in the effort to put the words in effort, and there are this few areas you can have a look at. You know, you can look at. Satyadip will pick up the paper, and there are people who have actually said, "What is this? What is this?" You can ask to the other Nag in the, you probably will get a more lucid answer from him. That what is this? Is this a speech? You call this a speech? These are not even words that you should put on a paper. He hasn't been so rough with me, but the things that I get from him, I really don't think any other Toastmasters will tell it in such a direct way. And that's where Satyadip becomes important in Toastmasters, that he can show the way in what it really is. Probably I know Satyadip for, I'm in Toastmasters for what, around 15 years maybe? I know Satyadip for about 14 years of those. And I remember the first day when I met him in a Toastmasters session, and he was there with all the energy and all the enthusiasm. The only thing I would request him is to change the humorous speech. We know every bit of his marriage, every single bit that went from the advertisement to be put on the paper to the marriage actually happening. I'm not telling him to continue with the marriage aspects on what happened after, but I'm sure there are other aspects of life that is as humorous. So please look into that and change that. But it is due to people that Satyadip is around, the Toastmasters still holds that RIRSE that we see on a lot of people around. And the reason why people like us still find a little bit of a magnet to come back to it every time. Thank you. Over to you, guys.
Super. That was something not many people could have spoken about. Satyadip, what do you think, Biswaraj?
Absolutely, absolutely. Seems like your roasters are roasting to the top of their game. But on that,
I know, but I also know that you have a sweetheart up your sleeve. The sweetheart of District 124.
yeah,
Whose photo was not on the poster. Is the surprise
there is a
ace
reason.
that you have up your sleeve.
The photo of this person is not on the poster because it is in the hearts of each and every one.
He is the sweetheart of District 124.
So we call on this person on this podium. Can we do a small exercise? Can we put up our right hand and our left hand, bring it close to our heart? As I call on the podium, the most beloved person of District 124. And he has got bytes and megabytes and kilobytes, KBs of information with him. Calling on the podium with my hand close to my heart is Distinguished Toastmaster Kaushik Bhattacharya to raise a toast for Satyadip Basu. Kaushik, the podium is all yours.
Thank you so much, dear Master of Ceremonies, for the wonderful introduction. All of you in this room and dear Satyadip, once again, another happy birthday, round of appreciation and wishes your way on this post-birthday celebration. Whenever I first met him, almost 10 years back, it was a contest. It was in Teachers' Lodge, and he was trying to give directions to people on how things should go about. And that was before the contest, not during, like before the contest, people were talking and he was trying to set up things and give directions to the organizers, how things can be done seamlessly. Over a period of that, at that time, I was a very new Toastmaster, and I didn't know a lot of you and a lot of the people at that time. And I'm sure he also didn't knew or remembers that I was there in that. But over the period of time, as I gradually came to know him, I heard of him, heard from him, giving directions and advices. In different roles I have played in Toastmasters, along with other leaders and mentors, he has also been one of those people who will call up and share advices when necessary. And these advices will not be what exactly needs to be done, but probably also includes how things can be done and why they should be done. Sometimes these brainstorming sessions, like our previous speakers were suggesting, used to take a little bit of a time, but they were always fruitful, because at the end of these sessions we have ideas that I at least could come up with, execute with, discuss with my team, and strategize the way forward. Over time, I have found him to be someone who has high regards and attachment for his family, and I respect him for that. His love towards his father, his love towards his Ishimoni or his son and his wife, of course, and everyone at his home comes out as someone who is always there for them when needed the most, and always ready to support the family in times of need. And that is something I really genuinely respect in that person. He is someone, and I respect another quality of his a lot, is that who does not care if he is on the chair or not. Leadership comes to him naturally, and he is not someone who is very interested to sit on a tool or a chair. It doesn't really matter, but he will always come up with ideas, advices, and try to get things done or show you the way things should be done in his own style and in his own way, which was always direct till now, and I hope it will always stay direct in the coming days as well, irrespective of what and where he is. He is someone who speaks directly, and he often says that some people do not like that quality in him, but I do like that quality in him, because I generally do not understand a little bit of gray things, but when things are told directly, I do appreciate and I understand them very clearly. And I hope the whole world was as direct as him. It would have made life beautiful for all of us. He's a seasoned, experienced human being, not just a Toastmaster, because it's his birthday and it goes beyond Toastmasters as well. I've seen him come up with ideas, like Brati was just saying, one of his favorite line is, common sense is not common. And but he has a lot of it, and he comes up with these experiences. In a conference, in a meeting, you will often find him sitting quietly and listening to people. And that is the good quality that he has, because probably he's analyzing in his mind and trying to find out the pros, the cons, and what exactly are the things that are going great, and probably things that can be passed on as a feedback. Sometimes he tries to come down to the ground most of the times and try to understand things by getting involved into them, rather than just giving a superficial view of the entire situation. That is also another thing that I appreciate about him. On stage, he speaks well with confidence. We all know that. But even in his journey of life, when challenges come his way, as some has come in his personal life, and I'm sure in other aspects, but every time I have seen him, he has always aced them with flying colors, facing them with confidence. I wish you all the best and the greatest of the year coming forward your way. I wish you another prosperous year in your journey of life, and I wish you happy birthday, Shobhita. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kaushik, for those wonderful words.
I think by now you know why this man is very close to our heart.
Absolutely. But now I'm going to call on stage from my team Heartbreaker. The heartbreaker. He has broken many hearts the moment he announced his marriage. I know that because I got a lot of private messages from several female Toastmasters from District 124 as well as District 41, since they all knew he was my mentor, and they were like, is it true? Is he really gone? Is it really done? And I had to tell them, yes, no more scope here. My mentor, Ruddra Dev Roychoudhury, is no more on the market. He's no more available. But
Officially not available. Yeah.
no, I have full faith in him. Even unofficially, he's not available for anyone. But these days, he has taken a break from Toastmasters as well. But then I told him, Rudro, Satyadip Basu roast karna. Before I completed the sentence, he was just done in one word, done. Now, shall we listen to what he has to say?
Definitely. Let's bring on.
Satyadip Da, just tell us if your appetite is still fun and going, you're okay? All right,
Maybe a glass
Rudro.
of water.
Yes, Rudro, the stage is all yours.
Thanks, Gayatri. When you said heartbreaker, I thought you were calling Pramod. But again, it's good that you called me for this roast, and welcome everyone, and welcome distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip. Wish you a very happy birthday, because the rest 5 minutes, I don't know whether you'll be happy or not, but I wish we all laugh. So, when I joined Toastmasters, I used to get a lot of rumors. One person said, DTM Satyadip, he's the person who joined Toastmasters way back in 1925. In fact, he was the first Toastmaster in India, and in part, the British left because he was an evaluator in a session where the speaker was Lord Mountbatten. And I would never believe that, but then I again went to the session, and then he was evaluating someone who was not a role player. So he was basically the VP Education, and he was getting evaluated because the speaker was not attended properly. But so I understood that, if that person can evaluate a non-role player, it's a wonderful skill one should have. And I think our names are a reflection of what we are, not what we are, but rather what our parents wanted us to become. So if someone wants their children to become the light of the world, they'll name them Deepak. And someone who wants their children to always speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, they'll name them Satyadip. And I think you have stood up to that name and have upheld the meaning of your name. So thank you for that. And in fact, that is why, in a way, Supreme Court is thinking of replacing the Gita with whatever you have said. Sometimes I joke and I say that what Lord Krishna had said was the Gita, what Satyadip has said is the Chhata. And Chhata means the umbrella. Umbrella, why? Because it protects us from things that could have happened and don't happen, because he has given us the advice beforehand. And there is a lot of good advice that he gives. Like one Brati said, common sense is not very common. And sometimes that, it is your attitude, not your altitude, that becomes your aptitude. I forget the exact words, but then these become also the table topics that he gives. And speaking of books that he has written, he is a very avid writer of Weekend Ponders that can now become a 10-volume book because he has written so many. But only I know, because I sit on the same floor as his, is that the Weekend Ponders are in fact manifestations of weekday frustrations. And when I get into his ODC, I look at him, and he is, that you remember Priya Prakash Barrier, the lady who got very famous because of her wink. The Satyadip is very famous because of his head shaking. So he shakes his head and holds his head, and I know that there's some customer who is frustrated and is not meeting expectations. So then I walk up to his desk and I see that, okay, after all this frustration and shouting and the meetings, on his desk, there's a small cup that says, I am the boss. And I understand why it is in his office and not in his home. So he has been associated with Toastmasters, specifically TCS Maitri, Kolkata Toastmasters Club for more than 15 years now. And the entire 15 years, only thing I really admire about him is he never misses one award that is achievable. Not nonsense awards like Hall of Fame and all. He achieves awards that are actually things that we can get, and he gets them. And all the time, I really like how he plans for them and gets them. And now I know why, because he has a secondary business. He owns a award shop in College Street, so where he back sells them as a secondary business. But friends, he's not just as a Toastmaster, but I have known him personally as well. He recently, not recently, a few years ago, he got very ill and he had to get admitted and get surgery, because I had told him that as a sergeant at arms, I lost the golden gavel. So that was the reason he got unwell. But yeah, so one thing I like about him, and I think all of us have covered, that he remembers to give feedback to everyone. And why I tell it's a quality is because a lot of people don't feel heard enough. So even though he gives us whatever CRC approach that Abdul has said and all of us have said, we know that we'll get that, and that's the good thing. And at least some of us has heard us, and we feel that okay, there's someone who's giving us feedback and always wishes the right thing for us. And I know that sometimes when we are new in Toastmasters, like people said, we have to entice people. The world champion is coming. This speaker, great speaker is coming. Abdul is coming to the roast. Come. We have to come and say, the VP Education has to say, give the speech this week because Satyadip is not coming. So it's a good opportunity for you. You can, get a moderate evaluation rather than a very truthful one. And I really like how he upholds the RISE, the respect, integrity, service, and excellence. He respects everyone to speak everything in front of them. Integrity to actually speak what he thinks. Service to speak the same thing, that like to give equal evaluations to everyone. And excellence because he is excellent at doing that. And this kind of quality is what we admire in Distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip. So wish you a very happy birthday. Wish you, your 100 more years of great life and Toastmasters, as well as a wonderful friendship that we have with you. And over to you, Gayatri and Biswaraj.
Thank you so much. Now, after that wonderful session of roasting, it's now time to calm down our nerves a little bit, soothe them a lot. Now, for this, the best fruit that can calm down your nerves is cucumber, because it is said as cool as cucumber. For me, I love cucumbers, and definitely I love somebody who is as cool as a cucumber. Now, yes, all of us cannot be as brilliant in being cool and calm as the first Nag that we spoke about, but definitely there is someone who resembles Hrithik Roshan in his stature, in shortened version of his name, which is one of the characters of a Hrithik Roshan movie, with those hair buns behind his back. He is our next person on the podium. Calling on the podium is our immediate past division director of Division J, who has a background of Satyadip Basu as well in his screen. Krishnesh, the podium is all yours. Please raise a toast to this great man.
Thank you very much, Biswaraj, for that wonderful introduction. And the first thing that I have to say about Satyadip is Londa Sakt Hai. Londa Sakt Hai. It's a quote by a very famous person. He's one of my favorites, but more than his comedy, I love it when he emphasizes on the various things life has taught him. And in one of those instances is what I will get to eventually. So in Toastmasters, how many 42 people are here? Okay, not too much damage. So you will see a lot of You will see a lot of posters. You have seen a lot of posters of people taking this session and that session and how to improve this and how to do well in club quality and how a APQD should behave. What is the role of APQD and all those things. But, you know, eventually you will realize that all this knowledge is available. All this is available. Stop.
Krish, you are not audible. Krish, you have to come close to the device. You are not audible.
इतना फैंसी करने से कैसा चलेगा? वो लोग फोटो बाहर भी लगाएगा.
I'll come in later then.
Krish, you are not audible.
I'll come in later. Gayatri and this one works for me. I get to hear the introduction, my introduction again.
No,
But
no,
keep
that's
it
all
short, but I'll come in again. Yeah.
All right, Krish, not a problem. So who do we call next? Biswaraj. Eeny, meeny, miny. Inky, pinky, ponky, father has a donkey.
Roaster,
After
a
Gutta
toaster.
Buffet ball.
A roaster or a toaster? A tea or a
Let's call someone to toast, because since we are in this thing. So
Sure.
let's get your toaster.
For our next toaster, while the previous toaster is busy in making his device work a little bit better, we'll call on somebody who is a jewel. Panna, like we call it. She is someone who is always smiling. I've never seen her frowning at anybody. I can't even imagine her scolding even Hirok. I'm not sure even if Hirok had ever been scolded by Panna ma'am. Pittu kheche. That is something that I will see in my wildest of dreams, maybe the next time. But today, since you are a very sweet person like the one we all know, let us raise a toast to Satyadip Basu, and that should come from your end. Ma'am, the podium is all yours.
Well, good evening, everyone. And what a lovely way to make someone's birthday memorable. Hats off to the brains behind the idea of today's meeting. Thank you, Gayatri and Biswaraj, for giving me this opportunity to toast someone I really admire, a man who exemplifies the virtue we hold dear in Toastmasters. All the four virtues, of course, everyone has mentioned: integrity, respect, service, and excellence. You know something? When I joined Toastmasters in 2019, I was amazed. Actually, I was shocked at the age difference between me and the rest of the Toastmasters in Kolkata. There was seriously a huge generation gap. Then I met Jenny D and Seema, and I felt a bit more comfortable. Satyadip is a lot younger than me, but he is an old soul, so I clicked with him too. You all agree? He's an old soul, right? I clicked with all of you also, Toastmasters. All of you young Toastmasters learned a lot from you, but I'm sure you all have learned a lot more from this amazing person, distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip. While others might sugarcoat or dance around the truth, Satyadip would charge forth with the unvarnished reality. I'm sure that is, for me at least, it was a refreshing change from the others in the Toastmasters world, where one is encouraged to, well, dance around the truth. Satyadip, with you, there's never a need to wonder where you stand or what you're thinking. You speak your mind to bring about the changes required. You point out what needs to be done, how it can be done better. And then you get so vexed when people don't listen to you. And yet you keep on trying. And that's so admirable about you. And that's why, Satyadip, you've earned my deepest respect. I'm sure many of you here know him longer, know him better. But what I can say about him, what little I know about him, is that he's a really good friend. Whenever I have shared with him or I've tried to call him up and he's in office and he can't return my call, he's always called me back. He's listened to me, given me ample time, and then talked about it. In his busy schedule, he has given me that time. And you know what is the sweetest thing about him? He remembers. He will remember what I've told him. He will think about it. And maybe that day or 2 days later or even a week later, he will call me back. Panna, you were saying this. I was thinking about it. Maybe you can do this or you can do this, about my speeches, of course, regarding my speeches. But he thinks, he really makes me feel important. He made everything that I share with him important. And that is what a good friend is. He's a fantastic friend. Friends, what do you think is the most adorable thing about Satyadip? I'm asking you all. What do you think is the most adorable thing about him?
I love his honesty.
Thank you.
Always available.
Yes. And
He's
His
there
sincerity.
His sincerity.
His passion
sincerity.
towards this cause.
That is the
Without any role. He doesn't want that, a tag to be there, but still he's serving and serving and serving. And that is what is great about him.
Absolutely. See, friends, Satyadip is very, very aware of, that some people are not very comfortable with his frankness. But does that stop him? No, because he has a passion, like Jalidi said, he has that passion, that integrity of wanting to bring about the change, the difference that we have all joined Toastmasters for. He goes, he knows that people might laugh about it later or they might pass a remark, but he will keep doing that. And he does it with a smile. His smile is so adorable. If there was a contest of having the sweetest smile, he would win it hands down. No third prize here, okay? Mind you, he would win that hands down. And in the talent contest, come on, all of you, you've not mentioned his skill with the mouth organ, about his sweet singing voice. He's such a talented person. Amazing, amazing person to know. Satyadip, I'm so happy I joined Toastmasters in Kolkata. So I got to meet you. Got to get a friend like you. Keep on shining, my friend. There are lots of young Toastmasters who need to learn from you. Over to you, Gayatri and Biswaraj. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Biswaraj.
Thank you so much, Panna ma'am. But I disagree to one particular point. You said Satyadip would call you and said, Panna, your speech needs to be said in this way or something of that sort. But that is not the case. The moment you get a call from Satyadip Basu, it will be Panna, 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 Panna. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. So that is the only change that you need to make in your speech. But other than that, it was a wonderful tone.
Biswaraj, just because you are
I think there is some problem here, Biswaraj, because Satyadip never does that to me. Panna, does it do that to you?
Something
he knows when.
Never.
Something is wrong with Biswaraj. Something is wrong with Biswaraj.
Never.
Something is wrong with Biswaraj.
Okay, the other Nag.
Something is wrong with Biswaraj.
I completely agree with Mr.
I also agree with him. I absolutely agree with him.
Hello.
All
No.
youngsters will agree.
Yeah. Y'all don't listen to him. That is why. Y'all don't listen to him. That's why he has to say, Biswaraj.
Gayatri. Next.
I just remember one thing. I was in an event, not of District 124. It was District 125. I met former region advisor of our district. And I asked him, what do you remember from your Kolkata visit? What did you cherish the most? He spoke about moments, and there was just one person he remembered. And that person was distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip Basu. And I told him that at Exuberance, when Satyadip Da was playing mouth organ at night, I told him that आप mouth organ भी अच्छा बजाते हो, लोगों की भी अच्छी बजाते हो. And that time, distinguished Toastmaster Raj Bansal gave me permission to use this for Satyadip Basu because this is how Raj Bansal described him. Tagline of Satyadip Basu is "Bajate raho." And now it is time bajane ka. And now that we are at this place, we are going to call someone who everybody will agree here, not the heartbreaker, but the heartthrob of District 124. When I was in Kolkata Advanced Toastmasters Club, there were very few meetings that he attended. But I'm so glad that as his VP Education, he was really nice enough to take up almost all the roles for me at least once. It's time to call on stage the person who recharged everybody or pointed out that everybody is recharged, distinguished Toastmaster Pramod.
Go ahead, Pramod.
I think introducing me, Gayatri froze.
I
Yeah. So thank you for inviting me, and fabulous job by Gayatri and Biswaraj. And actually, Gayatri, in a very subtle manner, she put it to everybody that I'm very irregular in Advanced Toastmasters Club. Thank you, Gayatri, for that. So now, the man of the hour, I would begin by wishing Satyadip belated wishes on your birthday yesterday. God bless you always for the person that you are. Many of us have spoken about that aspect of Satyadip. But I'm not here to speak good things about Satyadip. I'm here to roast him. This opportunity I will not miss. So knowing Satyadip for the last 14, 15 years, I know that he is a gentleman. But he is not a gentle man. He is definitely not gentle. And knowing Satyadip, I also know, and many people have spoken about Satyadip in this manner, that he calls a spade a spade. But I would say he not only calls a spade, but he stabs you with that same spade. He takes it to a different level. Now, I'm sure most of you must have heard about this, that people listen to respond. But the right way to do it, that you listen to understand. That is what most people don't do. But Satyadip listens to criticize. And an advice to every Toastmaster that if you are a heart patient, do not get your speech mentored by Satyadip. And if you have low blood pressure, you should. Now, Paromita is not very happy with Satyadip being a Toastmaster, and there's a reason for that, because Satyadip loves Toastmasters more than anything, and that you can see in the way he scolds all the Toastmasters. He scolds them more than his own son. He corrects them, he scolds them. In fact, when he was division director, he used to also take attendance regularly, take class, teach them, scold them. So that's the style of Satyadip. Now, somebody spoke about Satyadip being crazy about two things. One is football and his favorite team, Brazil. Some were confused that it's Argentina, but Satyadip himself said it's Brazil. And the other thing was the ocean. So though he's crazy about Brazil, but Satyadip cannot do the samba to save his life. And when it comes to the ocean, Satyadip doesn't delve deep into the ocean because the waves keep throwing him out. Because the moment he is deep into the ocean, he starts criticizing the sea world as well. With that, I would like to end with the last line. I had this experience personally that when young Toastmasters join Toastmasters, and if Satyadip happens to be in any of the meetings, they come up to me usually and they say, "Ke, I don't want to be in Toastmasters because that uncle that I think his name is Satyadip uncle, he shouts too much, so I'm never going to come back." So Satyadip, I think you have to change your ways so that young Toastmasters stay where they are and they're not scared of Satyadip uncle. So thank you and all the best, Satyadip, and God bless you again. Back to the MCs.
Okay, I can see two people in this room. One of them was extremely upset that I put his name under the section of toasters because he said, I want to roast him. And now he's worried, oh my God, all my material is taken. And then there is another person who is not, I mean, we have that person sitting like this, and there is another person who is literally worried, oh my God, this is so bad. They are putting me as the showstopper and all of my content is taken. But we are going to come.
Underestimate the showstopper. His content is never taken.
We have him as the showstopper for a reason. Don't reveal the name, Biswaraj.
Yes, obviously.
Carefully planned.
But hold on.
Krish is here.
Yes,
Krish is
obviously.
here.
Come on, Krish.
Krish, come on. Krish, come on.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I really hated to start this meeting with these two lines. Am I visible?
You are visible and you are audible. Huh.
But you are on
Very
a
bad.
red
I
zone.
really hope this would not be one of those meetings where I had to start with this. But yes, to repeat myself, Londa sucked hai. There are very few people I quote and give credit to. That is the best part of the sentence. There are very few people I quote and give credit to. One of them is Zakir Khan. And that is what I want to say about Satyadip, right? Londa sucked hai. And it's not the comedy that I like about Zakir Khan. It is about the experiences that he shares about his life. So I recall one special experience that he shared where he said, people look for advice in so many things in their life, in so many phases of their life, but they don't realize that it's actually there at home. If you just talk to your father, maybe first 5 minutes he will shout at you, but after that, whatever comes out is fantastic advice. And that is exactly the feeling that I get whenever I see a member coming to me saying that, we are going to hold this session where how to improve as a club, how to do better general evaluation, how to be a better APQD. And all these sessions, no use. You just have to talk to this person. Maybe the first 5 lines, he will say, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did this wrong. But just listen, hear him out for those first 5 minutes, first 5 lines. And after that, whatever he says is from the heart. And I've been with him a couple of times wherein, I've had heart to heart. And other times I've eavesdropped when he was having heart to heart with others. And it's the same. All his emotions, all his, whatever he has to say to you, it comes from the right place with the right intent. And that is what I love the most about Satyadip. Now there's one more instance where I have a special connection with him. And knowingly, unknowingly, Biswaraj, you played a part in that. It was one of the events during your wedding or your reception, I'm not sure, wherein I was invited. Thank you for that invite. And I told my wife, let's go for this Toastmasters thing. And she was like, oh, please don't take me there. I'm so uncomfortable in all these events. For those of you who were there in the exuberance and for the POTP and this one, she's not too comfortable with Toastmasters and especially distinguished Toastmasters. But out of the blue, I see that, she's chatting up one lady.
We lost you, Krish.
I see that she's chatting up audio issues again. Audio issues again. Now, better.
Better.
So in that occasion, I see my wife talking very animatedly with another lady, and they are hitting it off really well. And she came up. I said, "Oh, who is this person? I don't think she vouch for her communication skills and all." She's like, "No, you don't have to vouch for her communication skills. She is Mrs. Satyadip, and she hates her Toastmaster husband as much as I hate my Toastmaster husband." So that was how these two ladies become very, very good friends. And that is it. And I realized that someday, if fortune favors me, I might aspire to become like a Satyadip, where I might want to follow in his footsteps and have the best intentions for clubs, have the best intention for club members, have the best intentions for Toastmasters fraternity in general. And that's the biggest learning I take back from all my experiences with Satyadip. And last experience, it might deviate from being a toast to a roast, but at home, I also sit like this with both earphones in my ear, listening attentively. But there is one ear which is tuned to when my wife will say, "Come here." And it doesn't matter how loud the volume is, I have to go, just like Satyadip. So thank you very much, Satyadip, and glad to have known you. And I am eager to know you more. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We can see the quality of the toast started when the video started. Craig was actually coordinating his shirt with the background. The background had the same shirt which he was wearing today. What a toast! What a toast!
But
It's
the
not
only
like
problem I have, Biswaraj, is that everybody is saying, very glad to know you and leaving the podium as though this is the last farewell that we're giving. Please let us not make it like a farewell.
No, it is not. Because Jenny, I promise you something. This is a walk down the memory lane for me right now. Because I'll be calling on the podium somebody whom I've known since 2012, I guess. And at that point of time, I had a lot of hair. And when this person had a lot of hair. And I was way thinner. And even this person was way thinner. And then both of us went abroad. And then both of us lost a lot of hair. And both of us became fat. Calling on the podium, the other Nag. If you got it, please put your hands together for Arnab Nag. Now, whether it's a roast or a toast, we do not know. It's only when he will unmute himself, we will get to know. Over to you,
I
Arnab.
think he'll give a mixture. We need a cocktail now. We really need a cocktail. What say you? Whiskey?
Right, thank you, Biswaraj. This was a very different introduction and a very nice one. I should keep this for future use whenever people ask me for an introduction. But we are not here for that. So before we start, a belated happy birthday again, Satyadip. It is, I'm sure, with the years, as you grow wiser, your advice comes out straighter, makes people around you think you're crankier, so on and so forth. But this is definitely, I have been asked to toast you, so I will try my best to keep it as bhodro as possible and not try to have different meanings. But when I was told that I have to toast Satyadip, this is my first reaction was, boss হয়ে যাবে, সর্বনাশ হয়ে যাবে, কি করে toast করবো? And for everybody who has probably witnessed this, this is classic Satyadip. Whenever he thinks he's in a problem or whenever he has to teach you, those are the first ones that come out. He probably has never realized that Bach and Sarvanash rhymes, or the Bambu and the misfortune rhymes, but Bach and Sarvanash always rhymes, and those are the first things I hear. And I say, boss, হচ্ছে না, হচ্ছে না. Before I ask him, কি করে হবে? বোঝা যাবে, পরে হবে, এখন শুধু বল, হচ্ছে না. So first you have to understand কি হচ্ছে না, কি না হচ্ছে না. So I remember one of the first incidents of meeting Satyadip, or rather the first incident of meeting Satyadip, and I have the other two Toastmasters present here as well, that is Janidhi and Pramod. They brought me into Toastmasters. I had walked into a TCS audition in the TCS auditorium, and they were judges. And I remember telling them that I just want to join Toastmasters, and I just came here because Toastmasters is organizing this event, and I never looked back. So I'm grateful for all of them for bringing me special. And then Satyadip, I became very close to all three of them, including Satyadip, who was a teacher. And then I realized that one of his sayings, that life is probably the toughest teacher because it takes the test first and then teaches the lesson later. It is apt, Satyadip. I remember at one point of time that I had delivered a speech, and let's just say it wasn't too well. Satyadip was a general evaluator, so you can realize what kind of general evaluation I received. Abdul has already given you a preview of that by stealing some of my material. But after work, he I used to stay in Paksakas at that point of time, and he stays in close to Gariahat. So he told me that I'll drop you home. And very innocently, I walk into the parlor, said the spider to the fly, and I was the stupid fly who walked in. And then it started. "Ajke ki diyechilish?" And so I told him, I was thinking, what? "এটা finish হয়েছে। কি হয়েছে? হ্যাঁ, কি করে হবে boss? হ্যাঁ, এরম ভাবে করলে চলবে না।" I told him, "সত্যি তুমি গাড়ি চালাচ্ছ, you're driving, you have both your hands pointing towards me. আরে ওটা দেখা যাবে।" But no, ওটা হবে না। He was driving. And so you can take this in two ways. It means that he's probably one of the best drivers I have seen. And navigating Kolkata traffic or navigating India traffic is not easy. And he does it brilliantly with his feet. Hands can be at some place, hands can be someplace else. Or of course, you can say that he's probably enticed you to get into his car and given you feedback. His feedback was obviously unique and very straight. I really appreciate that because there is lots to learn from him. And I always learned my lessons. And till date, he proudly says, "Ki সব থেকে বেশি ঝাড় অর্ণব খেয়েছে, সব থেকে বেশি বকা, I have probably got the most scoldings." So I used to wait that some point new Toastmasters will come. They will also get it. As a pupil, you realize, right? After a point of time, abhi to I have become senior. I will get less jhar. So after a point of time, I see newbies coming in, and so there's a very different version. Trying to explain to them, saying that, "Oh, boss, this is not working, that is not working. No bash, no sarvanash." Suddenly the tone is mellowed down as if he's finally practicing vocal variety in his life. And then I ask him, "Ki, boss, so you realize, right? I'm hurt now. You are here, I am I am here. I have been getting all the jhad and the boka all the time, and new Toastmasters don't get any." Was that? এরা যারা এসছে তারা আমি মাধ্যমিক দেওয়ার পর জন্মেছে, 96 সালে মাধ্যমিক দিয়েছিলাম, তারপর জন্মেছে। কি করে বলতে পারি আমার ছেলের বয়সী? So basically, if you are in Toastmasters and if you're born after 1996, you don't see Satyadip Basu. You see a diluted, watered down version of Satyadip Basu. Very happy-go-lucky, not the real version. I don't know. And I don't even know why this change came about. It's as if I had to go and tell my parents, couldn't I be born a little later? Maybe, I would have escaped this tsunami, this raging volcano that came to me. But, well, I couldn't escape it. So that is the little bits about Satyadip. If I have to say other than all of this, if I have to say the good stuff about him, extremely sincere, someone who will always give you a solution. And the best part is that if he doesn't know, he will say he'll not know, he doesn't know it, and he'll fix somebody or he'll get somebody for you who knows it. That phone, that Samsung phone in that case, which is probably, I don't know how many years old, probably has contacts from literally, I wouldn't be surprised if it had Ralph Smedley's old address, because you didn't have phone numbers at that point of time, I'm sure. So it has everybody's number. He's like an encyclopedia. And you can see these in TMKTC special sessions, because everybody comes there and says that I am only here because Satyadip asked me. So if you are actually looking for who Satyadip is, he is that person. Someone who is so sincere to you and helps you so much and looks out for you and only thinks what is good for you, that at one point of time when you make a request or he makes a request, you cannot say no to him. Not just the grand old man, he could just be the godfather, because he will always make that offer to you that you will never be able to refuse. So with more memories, I'm sure there are more memories coming up with others as well. But right now, Satyadip, it was your birthday yesterday. So as you are a year older now, I wish you happy birthday again. I hope you had a great birthday, and maybe a toast to more jhar, more jhar, and more lessons in life, and calling spades a spades and getting stabbed with them. Back to you, Vishwaraj.
Thank you so much. So Gayatri, what do we do?
Biswaraj, after listening to everybody, I am now feeling very bad. Satyadip doesn't like me.
He doesn't like me either. So that is fine.
No, but he at least gives you honest feedback. I was told that Satyadip Basu's evaluation, he's very honest with his feedback. With so much of expectation, I went to him, and he didn't give me any recommendation.
So he gave you only commendations?
Yes.
I think that was the 367th day of the year. One very rare day in the calendar of our life when we get only commendations and no recommendations from Satyadip Basu.
Do you know that the president of this club, Speak Up Toastmasters, that has organized this thing, he has one goal in Toastmasters. He wants to become like Satyadip Basu. Her fiance is worried because now his mother is going to get a daughter-in-law like Satyadip Basu. Jenny ma'am, Panna ma'am, imagine Satyadip Basu as your daughter-in-law. What would happen to that lady?
Yeah, can we get a response from Jenny ma'am and Panna ma'am?
Yeah, how would you like a daughter-in-law like Satyadip Basu?
I would love it. Honesty, integrity, excellence, critical thinking, right? In a critical way. So I love it. Because we are actually going into the modern generation, and this is what we're looking for in models. What say you, Panna?
Absolutely, Jenny, I agree with you. I love the man. He's always welcome to the family. আমার বোমায় হয়ে এসে যাও সত্যদীপ।
হ্যাঁ আই বোমা আমার তো ছেলেরা বিয়ে করছে না কি করব।
Now, with that, it is that time, Biswaraj, that finally the stage will be handed to that one person. Do you know that this person requested me to let him toast for Satyadip Basu? I told him nobody wants to listen to him toast for Satyadip Basu.
Absolutely.
Because even in his absence, Satyadip Basu has roasted him so much, multiple times, every time. After every meeting is ended, there is any informal chit chat. And if Satyadip Basu is in that room,
or even before they started,
or even before the meeting starts, the meeting cannot end without the mention of this one person. We hand over the stage directly to him, or do you want to say something about him?
No, let the actions speak louder than our words.
If there is one person who deserves to have Satyadip Basu served on platter to him, it is him. Please help me welcome on stage distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal.
Krish, you've come too close to the device. You're not audible. You're not audible. And Krish decided to also not become visible. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the power of Satyadip Basu, a man who is absolutely does. Well, today a lot of lies have been told about him. Hello, toasters. Hope you burn in hell. For example, the only person who found it very difficult to tell lies was Panna Rashmi Ray, the jewel amongst us. In fact, she was so tensed about not being able to speak the truth. She actually had to ask us, what is the most adorable thing about Satyadip, which proves that she cannot lie, that she can only speak the truth. Oh, Panna, that was so sweet. In fact, Satyadip is someone who really loves people, loves his friends so much. In fact, you will not believe this because it's not true. Satyadip always invites people to his home virtually. In fact, the only way Arnab was able to visit his home was to carry a Johnny Walker. What a shocker. In fact, yes, sorry, Jenny, but that's the truth. In the last 14 years, you've probably not even been to his home for 14 seconds. In fact, I was one of the few people who had been to his home, but it was to pee. I don't know what to say. Anyway, I have to also mention that Satyadip Basu is an absolutely unbiased person, when it comes to sports. He feels Brazil is the best team in the world. who won in 2002. Who cares? The best team in the world. In fact, Satyadip is known to support people who may not always be, not applicable for people from PCS Moitri Kolkata Toastmasters Club. But Satyadip, in fact, is amazing when it comes to supporting people. In fact, the moment he starts supporting him, he also doesn't win. In fact, Satyadip is the only known Toastmaster who has appeared in a contest 69 times. Yes, the number is true. And he has the distinction of losing at a division level, at an area level, and at a club level. That shows how grounded he is. My God, remember the member. Always remember the member. Let them go first. You can always come last. Who will do it better than Satyadip Basu? In fact, Satyadip Basu is the only person who could convince his wife that his life was miserable. Well, it actually was, because he had just played Divi's Joseph. That's another story for another roast. But anyway, so one day, Paramita used to tell him, my God, you take so much time to come back from office. What are you up to? And Satyadip Basu very carefully ensured that on a day when everything is going to be at its worst, he took Paramita to office. And then while returning, he was like, my God, today the traffic is so less. That day the traffic was probably 6 times more. And after that day, Paramita has never told Satyadip, where are you? Because his answer is always the same, Chingri Hata. He chata. In fact, Satyadip Basu, sometimes I disagree with some of you. You're always telling Satyadip Basu calls a spade a spade. It's not true. Satyadip Basu calls a spade a spade. He even calls a spoon a spade, a nail a spade, and everything for him is a spade. And he likes to wade into the water to critically evaluate someone. Just the other day, he was actually mentoring a world champion of public speaking. Someone who thought he will be the world champion of public speaking. Because after that mentoring, he left Toastmasters. Anyway, so he just said, and in fact, I'm shocked to hear, he just had 2 things to tell to that person. You just need to change 2 things in your speech. Just 2 things. One is the content and second is the delivery. And you will be a world champion of public speaking. Since that day, he's trying for the world champion of public speaking, and he has never to be found in Toastmasters. Anyway, unlike a lot of other people, Satyadip believes in criticizing in public. A public place for him is the best place to criticize. That's how you will work on your critical evaluation. And he only wishes to praise in private. He wants to keep that praise short and sweet so that it's worth the tweet. Talking of tweet, Satyadip Basu is the only known person who can take quotes of others and pass it as Saturday musings. Thank God you have not published those books. Otherwise, you would have opened the world's first Toastmasters Club in Indian jail. That having been said, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you that Satyadip Basu is someone who you would not like to have as a friend, because if you will have it as a friend, he will be with you for life, irrespective of whether you're having a good life or your life is full of strife. And today, Satyadip, whether you like it or not, I have for you a poem. And here it goes. For him, talent is not latent, and he believes he owns it patent. His expressions may be a cross between constipation and dysentery. But for TMKTC, he happens to stand tall as a stoic sentry. When he gets angry, his manners take a hike. He can drive even a rickshaw like a bike. As a communicator and leader, he is absolutely Basu, a true friend across seasons. Please give it up for the birthday boy, distinguished Toastmaster, Satyadip Basu.
Okay, now here is the thing. A lot has been said about our birthday boy Satyadip Basu. And now is the time. Stage is all yours, Satyadip da.
Satyadip has to give back to
Revenge.
everybody.
It is time for revenge. It is time for revenge.
No, nothing of revenge. See, first of all, I'm extremely thankful to Gayatri for this idea. And Gayatri and Biswaraj have done a fabulous job. The most important thing that I like is bringing the old school back in the same platform. I do not remember when even Arnab, Archita, Rohan, active Toastmasters also, they do not even remember when you had Pramod Fernandes, Abdul Rahim, Brati Ghosh, Jennifer Ghosh, Arnab Nag and Ayan Pal on the same platform. At least I feel extremely honored that I have these stalwarts in one platform for my name. Thank you, Gayatri. for this. See, overall, I like being direct. There's no, there is no two words about it. At home also, I'm generally direct, and that's why my Pishi Buaji, who's there in this room, her name is Krishna Roy. She's probably listening.
But you are the Pupaji, na? Be careful.
Right. So I keep on telling her that, see, there's no point. You have to, if you have to say something, you say it straight on, flat on face. There is no point backbiting, speaking round away, that just like a jalebi. There's no point doing that. But to Arnab's point, I would say that yes, over the time period, I have kind of mellowed down a bit. Yes, Arnab has got the brunt the most. There's no second thought about it. But yes, I've mellowed down a bit, because these days, people who come to the Toastmasters world, not to demean anybody, not to criticize anybody, each and everyone has got a purpose. And once the purpose is served, the Toastmaster part is over, right? For us, Toastmasters, at least for Jennifer Ghosh, for Brati Ghosh, for Pramod Fernandes, we partly Ayan Pal, obviously, because Ayan generally shifts a bit according to the situation. But yes, and that's not a roast Ayan, that's a fact. I always believe that we have to change along with time. People have come for purposes. If the purpose is served, let them be. Say, people have directly told me, Abdul, you will be surprised to know that people are now, I was just telling me, I've joined Toastmasters only to get admission in MBA, just to show my CV has got some credits in Toastmasters. And that's all. They will stay only for 12 to 18 months in TCS Toastmasters, and then they will vanish in thin air. But having said all these things, what I'm still proud of is Toastmasters still brings about a change in life. And that was a testimony when we organized that 800 session of PMKDC. People who have left Toastmasters in 2012, 2011, they came back, not because of me. They came back because Toastmasters, they understood, and they still realize that Toastmasters has made a difference in their life. It has made a difference in my life. It has brought about so many good friends who are all here right now. Many of them did not get a chance to speak. Many of them can speak heart out. They get Ayush, Archita, those who did not get a chance to speak. Maybe Anisha is there, and some old Toastmasters I can still say. Dhruva Jyoti has joined. One of the coolest, most calm persons I've ever seen in Toastmasters, is not rattled by anything in the world. Those of you who do not know Dhruva Jyoti, our Duranto Dhruva Pramod, you remember. So they have also joined. But Toastmasters has given me so many friends. I completely take all your opinion, and I really like this good humor. Again, I would like to say that all of you have come to this same platform to celebrate my birthday in such a nice gesture. I truly feel honored. I have been telling everybody that you will get a chance to hear some of the best speakers in the country to speak from 9 to 10:38 p.m. No rebuttal, no refusal, and it's not because that I am not being the true Satyadip Basu that I am, but all of you have spoken the truth, whether it is in the form of a roast or in the form of a toast. I thank wholeheartedly from the bottom of my heart, and I can assure you that I will keep on doing the same thing, because I do not compromise with my passion. I keep on saying, in the word compromise, if you break in Bengali, it says promise, P-R-O-M-I-S-E, C-O-M-P-R-O-M-I-S-E, which means compromise. So you do not promise less in Bengali, right, Abdul? You do not promise less. You do not compromise with your passion. I never compromise with Toastmasters. If you compromise with your passion, it is not your passion. You compromise everywhere in your life, but do not compromise with your passion. That's it. I would again close by saying that I'm extremely thankful to Gayatri Biswaraj for holding such an session. It's a truly memorable session. To all those Toastmasters who have joined, I can see 32 of them. 31
there was 41.
There's a 43 other.
41 or 43.
Yeah.
At one time it was 49.
Everyone who present here, thank you all for staying back so late. I'm proud you have not had dinner maybe for me. heartfelt gratitude from my side. Back to
একটু
you.
কেক পাঠিয়ে দাও না।
Yeah. Please.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's
ওই
a-
whiskey বোতলটা।
ঠিক আছে, আমি পাবো কি করে?
Now,
আমি পাবো কি
here,
করে?
No,
I need to
Sneaky,
tell,
sneaky.
there is
Yeah.
confession I want to make, Satyadip Dao. Once the whole meeting was announced, I got some really angry messages.
Okay.
How dare you not tell us that this was happening for Satyadip Dao? How
Okay.
dare you not give us an opportunity to speak? And I said, see, there is agenda, there is time constraints, and I got an answer, who's going to stop me?
No, that's true.
Just out
That's
of
true.
So
fear.
you can, Gayatri can have an episode too.
So
Yeah,
here is one thing. We have 2 people in this room. We have 3 people in this room. We have many people in this room who want to say something. And somebody was talking a lot on the chat. So
There is reason behind this.
now
Because
here is
just
what we
like
are going to do.
Rohan Nag said,
Here is what we are going to do. Here is what we are going to do. Satyadip, stay back for some more time.
Yeah, that's all
Formally,
right.
the meeting will be adjourned now, and the after party will begin. In this after party, we have a separate agenda. We are going to have Archita speak, Abhishek Mahata speak, and most importantly, you even managed to get not just Abdul Rahim and Pramod Fernandes, you even managed to get Ayush Vaidya in the room. So we are going to have an after party. And before that, we are going to formally adjourn the meeting. I would like to hand over the speech to the president of Speak Up Toastmasters, Vaibhavi Sondur.
Yeah, let's hear Archita.
Thank you so much, Gayatri and Biswas. I would also like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all the attendees. I thank all the dignitaries for making this event a grand success. Thank you, Satyadip Basu, for giving us the permission to do this for you. The party may be over, but after party will begin now. I officially adjourn the meeting and hand over the virtual podium to Gayatri and Biswaraj for after party.
Yeah, but Gayatri, don't stop the recording. Let the recording continue because Archita
Yes.
Tiwari is raring to go. Archita has got all the ammunition right now.
she was the area director.
So
Gayatri.
here
That's
is
what I'm
the
saying.
thing.
For
Here is
2018,
the
19.
thing. Archita,
No, I must say something before that.
yes,
The
Pramod.
Sergeant at Arms clearly mentioned that put all your noise-making devices on mute. So how can you ask Archita to speak?
Yes, that was
I did not say anything.
breaking
I did
my
not say
Formally adjourned. It is formally adjourned. So here is the thing.
Dada is laughing the loudest at this joke. This is so this is what he does.
Archita,
Don't do this. He
take your
got
time.
loudest
Okay.
at other people's joke, especially
Let-
my joke.
Let us hear Archita. Because
Archita, bring your things in order.
Area director Archita.
She's not
Area
area director. She's former division director.
Okay, I have to say this. When I was going to become an area director, a couple of people called me, a couple of seniors, and they're like, your division director is a very serious guy. And I'm like, okay. And then, I spoke to him the first time and he's like, yes, we're going to work as a team and we're going to make sure that we'll have a lot of fun also. But we did not have fun. We only worked as a team. And there was this unbelievable, I think it has been the 4 wonders of the world, the area directors that Dada has had.
Absolutely.
Imagined a combination like that. Okay. There was Shayak, super dedicated, like unbelievably dedicated, like dedication above dedication. Then there is Apurv, okay, who is humor above humor. And
he is the chill guy.
He's the cool
party guy, the cool guy.
Yes, he just looks different than Krish, but he's almost as cool. And then there was me, who was still learning what to do and getting all the scolding on behalf of all the guys. I don't know why. And then there was Afzal, who was, I don't know if he vanished. Rip Van Winkle is the name Dada gave him. So he vanished after a little while and became Mr. India. Not in a good way. Not like Anil Kapoor. And as far as Dada is concerned, I've had this amazing experiences of being appreciated very critically only to realize that I am being appreciated. So he had to tell me, this was appreciation, yeah, Archana, you're not getting it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because if this is appreciation, I can't imagine what scolding would feel like. That is when, you use that young card, like where you go, I'm really sorry, Dada. I didn't mean to do that. And then, acha, theek hai, okay, fine. And then the moment he realizes you're not actually crying, you're not actually crying. Then he's like, I told you, Ami to bollo. And then I'm like, oh God, this is again going. So we would have group calls. I'm going to wrap up with that group call joke, right? We would have group calls where Dada would tell us we will have a very short call because I have to go for dinner at 9:30. And then at 11 p.m. we are all hungry. So I have not forgotten calls. They have been the longest calls. I don't think any of the guys I have dated have had such long calls with me. So they have been the longest calls of my life that would start at 9 p.m. with the idea of going for dinner at 9:30 and reheating dinner at 11:30. So thank you, Dada, for all the long calls. I've learned a lot. I'm still learning a lot. Okay. And I really, really feel that I want to say you're aging like fine wine, except for looking like that. But you're aging like fine wine and you're getting better at criticizing and critically evaluating people. Okay, these people have put the word criticizing in my head. Okay, I've never used that word before. So critically evaluating people is only getting better with time. So thank you for teaching us how to deliver feedbacks effectively.
Okay, thank you so much, Archita. You know what is one thing that is required to bring about a balance in universe? Every room where you have an Archita Tiwari, you need an Ayush Vaidya. A few days ago, Satyadip, you made an accusation against me that I fight with everyone. I would like to call on stage distinguished Toastmaster Ayush Vaidya to refute the accusation.
That you don't fight.
Gayatri, he will roast
that
you
I
now.
don't fight. So
I
Ayush,
thought
you
it
need
was
to come on
Satyadip's
stage.
roast, not
Good
Gayatri's toast.
It's going to be a roast.
It's not roast.
Want me to roast you?
No, no, no. This is exclusive roast for distinguished Toastmaster Satyadip Basu. And since Satyadip Basu often talks about your style statement and all, please come on screen.
Okay. To be honest, I'm looking really bad and I don't want to come on screen. I'm looking as bad as a CGD feels when Satyadip Sir says, please shut the club. And to be honest, I'm giving a disclaimer that I am here not to roast, but to insult. Okay, wait. I have to roast Satyadip Da and I don't have to become Satyadip Basu. Sorry for that. No, on a hindsight, I'm just joking. Yeah, I cannot roast a man who is respected so much in the society of Toastmasters. Jokes apart, to be very honest, I really respect him. Yesterday, I called him up at 12 to 2 minutes late after his birthday got over. And we had a long chat of 1 hour where he again gave me a lot of gyan, which actually was not gyan, to be honest. Brutally honest statements made by Satyadip Da. But if you see on a good note, whatever he speaks, it actually makes sense, especially in terms of clubs, to be very honest. And Satyadip, to be honest, I still remember that trip, Oration 2018, which we went in Agra. I think Archita was there, Mayank Pota was there, Abzal was there. The way you roasted me, I will never forget. You remember the line that came from my side when we were eating somewhere? I don't remember. Vishal Churi was also there. I think Satyadip was insulting me, to be honest, not roasting me, but insulting me. Then I said some line, I don't remember exactly, but it has a very good rhyming words. Something like, one day I will be a great man and your whole family will be my great fan. Something like that I said instantly and everybody went, just crazy. And I felt so good when I said something and people were laughing on Satyadip Da, not on me, because of that statement. That was the first and the last time I could roast him. And after that, never. But he can roast me anytime, any day, anywhere possible in the earth. With this, once again, Satyadip Da, happy birthday to you. And trust me, I genuinely feel that I should adapt your style, that is being a very, very brutally honest person. the day I become that, I will be really successful in life. Over to you, Gayatri.
So Raj, who do we have next on roster?
Not a roaster. I would prefer a toaster. This
Okay.
somebody who is as cool as a cucumber. Once again, I have seldom heard him shouting, and I've not heard from him for a long time. Actually, he joined TMKTC, I think, in 2011, because I met him the first time in 2012. Can we call on the podium Dhruva Jyoti Dijeda to please say a few words on Satyadip Basu?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dhruv to come on
Yeah,
camera.
I should say good
Yeah,
night.
there is. Yeah.
Yeah, good night, all.
No change, Dhruvo. Aki rokom dekh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember I joined Toastmasters in 2009, and that also by some coaching by Satyadip only. So he said that why you are not coming, and I said that okay, I need to have my lunch, so I need to have, I am just avoiding. What is this Toastmasters is all about? But he kept on coaxing me that okay, if you come, you'll be improving. And later on, when I was in client calls, I said, "This how I'm doing," and he said, "Okay, you use this kind of this scratch words, filler words, and all." So I was just surprised that oh, you are counting all of this during the this meetings and all. So that was the experience that I had with him. Also, he was my project mate as well. We used to work in the same project, and he used to drop me maybe near Chingri Hata quite a few times when we used to return together. Maybe Satyadip, you might remember. We used to leave almost at 9:39 or 9:30 from office. That time we were in TCS Wonders or TCS Chatterberg Lords or Eden. I remember around that time. And one thing I especially remember that he is a very fond of Bengalis. Okay, so even when he's driving, so we had maybe some traffic jam and all, and he used to say, "Cholo Bangali cholo." Somehow I don't know whether the driver in front of him could hear his voice, but at least that could ease the traffic jam on the road. That I still remember about him. And all in all, also got the sharp the critics or evaluation every time I have spoken or not doing anything properly, maybe in Toastmaster or outside Toastmasters. Even in my this life, I'm not doing something good or I'm doing good on this. So he always given me feedback and genuinely even till today, when I discuss with him, he gives me good suggestions and all, and that's why I feel I not only him, I have met Abdul, Brati, and Pramod, everyone here for Toastmasters. So that's why I still feel that he has this passion, and he not only having this passion for himself, but he I think gives this passion to you, okay, as well, by his feedback, everything, whatever he does. So still, we feel that we are, even if I'm not a regular Toastmaster, but we still once a Toastmaster and always a Toastmaster, and all is because once Satyadip, I think, said that okay, you can join Toastmasters and it's something good in it for you. Okay, so that's all I want to say. Thanks a lot and have a great birthday, Satyadip. Thank you, Biswaraj, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Dijeda. That was so heartwarming. So, Gayatri, whom do we call next?
We have Abhishek Mahta in the room. Abhishek.
Once again, happy birthday, Satyadip. And
Thank you.
I got his first evaluation when I was attending one of the Salt Lake Toastmasters Club's meeting in the open house TCS room. And that day I realized that if you want to make someone change the way they are acting as a Toastmaster, they are working as a Toastmaster, you have to be brutally honest. And that is what I have been carrying it. I have been criticized a lot by a lot of people that I am very brutal about my evaluations as a general evaluator or as an evaluator. But thanks to Satyadip Da, I don't feel like I am brutal. I am honest, because if I am not honest to the people, I think they won't need a Toastmasters to improve. There are a lot of other people who can sugarcoat. And thanks to Satyadip Da, I realized this: ki if you are honest to the work, that's what I do in my office also now. That if you are honest, nothing matters. If people want the feedback, when people say that we are here in Toastmasters to get the feedback, please get the truthfully feedback, so that you can work upon it. Thank you, Satyadip Da, for teaching me that. And I always look after in getting more learnings from you and getting roasted by you. Thank you. And once again, happy birthday.
All right. I'm still, people are asking me if distinguished Toastmaster Ayan Pal is going to come on stage again.
I will, yes.
Okay, Rifat.
Before that, we have Vikas Gangwal in the house. Vikas ji, can you please come on the podium and share a word or two about Satyadip Basu?
Hi, everyone. I did not know about this meeting. Fortunately, unfortunately, I was scrolling the Toastmaster group and I saw something on the roast part. I clicked on that message. I saw it is on Satyadip. So that compelled me that I had no option but to join. Somebody roasting Satyadip was such a dream come true. I could not miss whatever was left. But in my entire Toastmaster journeys, one person who is known to my family. In fact, just now, 5 minutes ago, my son was here beside me, listening to things about Satyadip. And when his photo came on the screen, the one thing he told me, "Oh, look, Papa, he is the guy who tells you the old man." So my son, my daughter, my wife, they all know Satyadip as one person who, again, I second Archita that he won't call me for months together, but whenever he will call me, then the call won't end before 30, 40 minutes, 60 minutes like that. And what on earth he won't talk to me about office, about work, about Toastmasters, everything he will cover in those 60 minutes. It's always definitely I have few memories with him, which are very dear to me. And they are very, very personal in terms of a very good friend calling another friend. But at the same time, from a Toastmaster fraternity perspective, whatever I would say stint I had with Toastmasters, only one thing I have seen Satyadip always doing, and that irritated me a lot. All the time he did that, was on any TM30C club competition. Till I have actually avoided a lot of competitions by grabbing a role so that I need not participate. And here is one guy whose name is not there on the list till the 11th hour. And then suddenly when the final list is written on the whiteboard, I see Satyadip is there as a participant. No preparation, 100% extempore, but he will participate. And somehow in most of those competitions, he will end up with winning the third prize. Means I don't understand. Is it his aura? Is it his fear? The judges are known to him. I don't know, but he will eventually go away with the prize. Without any preparation, his name is coming on the board and he is there in the final picture taken for the winners. So irritating, but every time it used to happen. So Satyadip, lot of memories. At least on you, I also, for a difference, then go on talking for some more time. but considering the time, and I think it is 11 p.m. So Archita, maybe your that dinner time is about to come. So I wrap up here. Satyadip, thank you so much. You are a wonderful friend, and you are definitely someone whom I should cherish to have in my life. Thank you, Sati. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Ayush,
man.
you don't have to raise hand. You can just talk.
Okay, I remember. So 1.5 years ago,
You can turn on your video, Ayush. We need to see
Yeah,
your
yeah. Ayush, you have to turn on the
नहीं
video.
चलेगा.
Ayush, you have to turn
Oh,
on your
अच्छा
video.
चलो चलो ठीक है कर
Also,
लो.
by the way, I even have a toast for Satyadip because I actually wanted to deliver a toast.
Acha, Ayush, please let him finish first.
He's also color coordinated with us in red.
You want me to finish first?
Yeah, because Ayan will close it. Okay, let's.
Yeah, Ayan will be the showstopper.
Ayan will close it. Just
So I
hear
remember-
them like they hear them for everybody. Yeah? Let's Ayan, let Ayan close.
Gayatri organized the same meeting where she brought Satyadip Basu to roast me, Gaurav, Ayan Pal, and one more other I don't know. After the meeting, Satyadip Da was the most happiest person, and Gayatri was the most unluckiest person because she got a lot of backlash from me, from Ayanda, from Gaurav for calling him on stage and making fun of all the district officers. Today, she being a very smart Toastmasters has given the equal opportunity to all of us to roast Satyadip Basu, which means karma will always hit back. This is the moral of the story from Gayatri Deshmukh. Thank you, Gayatri Deshmukh. Back to you.
Ayan, you got the opportunity.
Before Ayan, my editor wants to say something. Anisha,
Yes,
come on.
go on.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for giving me the chance to speak here. I was listening in through the entire session. Just like a lot of you, I've had interactions with DTM Satyadip in very brief interactions. So I recall that when he used to come to Newtown, everyone would be prepared with their sheets because, you know, DTM Satyadip is here. So if he points out anything wrong, it is going to be a big thing. But I personally connected with DTM Satyadip when I was a judge and he was the chief judge of one of the contests. And I recall during our very brief interaction for 10 minutes, he said, judging is always about making sure that the best person wins. And even after the contest, I recall he told me that, thank you so much for being part of my team. And coming from DTM Satyadip, it meant a lot for me. And I would just want to say that I love how honestly you evaluate everyone. Every time you are in a session, I straighten up in my chair, even if I'm taking the role, any role, or even if I'm just attending the session. That says a lot about what Toastmasters stands for. And I think you embody that and you make us look back and think what we really need to instill as Toastmasters. So thank you so much. And once again, a very happy birthday to you.
The only person, Satyadip, that you don't like in Toastmasters is me. Only to me
Because
you
you are
give an
DTM.
honest.
Because you're DTM. Disgusting
No,
Toastmaster.
I'm the only person you have not given an honest feedback to.
I will.
Done.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
What
Okay,
does
let's close with
stand for Satyadip Basu then?
Oh my God.
Toastmaster. What does DTM stand for Satyadip Basu?
So yeah, I'll tell you for
DTM is tormentor.
Clubs.
no
Saying
for
the club.
DTM for me is for that classical for the traditional course it means distinguished Toastmaster. For this pathways course it means a disgusting Toastmaster because pathways anybody is doing, people are just playing with pathways. Nobody cares about.
You mean I am a disgusting Toastmaster, Gayatri is a disgusting Toastmaster because we all have completed pathways and done our DTMs.
No, that is for me, not for
him,
others.
for him.
For me. The second DTM is just that. What beats me is that people are taking a lot of advantage in pathways, which was never there. This whole thing going online, people are not having a manual way to put down your evaluation is just killing because nobody cares. No evaluations are uploaded. Nothing is done, and so the same mistake keeps on repeating, speeches after speeches after speeches, and that is what irritates me. To be honest, that really irritates me.